Ukraine has reported that Russia has unleashed one of the most intense and large-scale aerial assaults since the war began, pounding multiple regions with hundreds of drones and missiles. According to Kyiv, the overnight barrage targeted not only military positions, but also critical infrastructure, energy grids, and densely populated cities, raising fears of a worsening humanitarian crisis as the conflict escalates. Officials in Ukraine stated that waves of Shahed-type drones and precision-guided missiles were launched in coordinated attacks across several hours. Air raid sirens echoed in nearly every major Ukrainian city, forcing civilians into underground shelters as explosions lit up the night sky. Kyiv's air defense systems were activated on a massive scale, with Ukrainian forces claiming to have intercepted a significant number of the incoming weapons. Despite these efforts, several missiles and drones managed to penetrate defenses, causing destruction and casualties. In the capital Kyiv, authorities reported damage to residential buildings, industrial facilities, and sections of the power supply grid. Emergency services rushed to extinguish fires triggered by the strikes, while medics treated the wounded on the ground. Ukraine's state energy operator warned of potential blackouts across several regions as repair crews scrambled to stabilize the grid. In other parts of the country, including Kharkiv, Odessa, and Lviv, infrastructure facilities, warehouses, and even railway hubs were hit, highlighting the broad scope of the offensive. The Ukrainian government has described the attack as part of Russia's ongoing strategy to cripple the country's energy infrastructure and weaken civilian morale as colder months approach. Officials emphasized that these barrages are intended to exhaust Ukraine's air defense stockpiles and test its resilience. Russia is using terror as a weapon, attempting to break our will, Kyiv declared in its latest statement. Internationally, the strikes have drawn condemnation from Western allies who reiterated their support for Ukraine and pledged to continue supplying air defense systems, advanced missile interceptors, and humanitarian assistance. NATO officials warned that Russia's intensified bombardment could mark the beginning of a new offensive phase, designed to stretch Ukraine's defenses and pressure its allies into concessions. For ordinary Ukrainians, however, the immediate reality is one of fear, disruption, and survival. Families spent the night in bunkers, metro stations, and shelters as uncertainty loomed over what the next wave of attacks might bring. Despite the devastation, Ukrainian leaders vowed that the country will not be intimidated, insisting that its defenses are growing stronger with international support. The latest assault underscores the scale and brutality of the war, reminding the world that the conflict shows no signs of slowing down. With hundreds of drones and missiles used in a single night, Kyiv has warned that Russia is determined to escalate, making the coming weeks critical for Ukraine's survival and resilience.